So today we'll discuss on the envelope detector. So in the last video, just to brush up, we discussed about switching modulator. So there we have seen how amplitude modulated signal can be generated. So later in the receiver side, on the receiver side we want to detect that message signal from the S of T. So for that we can use the envelope detector. Okay, so this envelope detector is nothing but a simple and effective diode circuit. You can see here simple circuit is there. So commonly used for extracting the AM signal, okay, message signal from the S of T. So you can see in the circuit diagram. So this question has been asked, I quoted here in UT question paper, June-July 2017, your scheme only. So explain the operation of envelope detector with a neat diagram and waveforms. So diagram and waveforms we have to practice here. So mention also the significance, means importance of the RC time constant. So first point you have to tell, so what you mean by demodulation or detection. Demodulation is a process of recovering the original message signal from the modulated wave at the receiver. Okay, so where envelope detector is a simple and highly effective diode circuit. Okay, highly effective diode circuit commonly used for the demodulation of AM signal. So how you can start? So after quoting these two, you can continue explaining about the circuit diagram first, then you will start writing about its operation. Okay, the figure shows simple circuit diagram for the envelope detector containing one diode which is acting like an ideal diode here, switching element, and one filter here made up of capacitance and resistance connected parallel to each other, RC filter. Okay, so across it we are getting the output V naught of T. So AM, amplitude modulated signal, okay, not M of T or C of T we are applying. We are applying here means now we are discussing about this circuit at the receiver side. So at the receiver side we are getting amplitude modulated signal connected in series with some resistance in order to take care of any large current suddenly coming in the circuit and protecting your switching diode and RC filter. So here the diode is acting like a switching device. Okay, so let us see how to explain about this one. Simple some diagrams are there here, so I will just see some simple simplified diagram here to understand the operation of this envelope detector. As the name itself it will indicate, we need to identify the envelope of this. The envelope here you can see the input what you are giving is S of T, AM signal, amplitude modulated signal, so which is carrying high frequency pulses enveloped by the message signal. Okay, so this envelope means message signal we need to identify here. Okay, so that AM signal now will be giving as input to this ideal switching element and filter. Okay, RC filter. So output you can see we are getting only the envelope here. That output we need to get. So how we can make? So when you apply this one amplitude modulated signal here, which is made up of a pack up or a series of high frequency carrier pulses are there here. Okay, series of high frequency carrier pulses are there, signals are there. Okay, so here you can see it is like a sinusoidal signal containing both positive peak and coming down to negative, again going to positive, like that the cycle is repeating. Okay, but it is not periodic, but it is sinusoidal signal only. and it is covered by this some envelope is there. Okay, how to get the envelope from this backup of high frequency carrier signal? Okay, so what is happening here, it is made up of two peaks, positive peak and negative peak. Okay, let us see, try to understand in each of these peaks what is happening. That's nothing but our operation, how this envelope detector is going to operate. So the operation is very simple. So during positive peak, okay, during positive peak, this one is plus and this one is minus. Listen here carefully. So I am explaining the operation during the positive peak. Suppose if you take this one is a positive peak, so it is rising from 0 to slowly rising positive direction to the peak. Okay, so when here it is positive more than 0 and go on rising up to the peak, that is sufficient to make this ideal diode to be forward biased, means it is on, and that will means it is acting like a short circuit. Okay, the moment when your input S of t will cross 0 and start increasing in a positive direction with a non-positive value, that is sufficient to make your ideal diode on, means it is as good as short circuited. So that much is sufficient for your capacitor to charge towards this peak. Here you can see during this positive peak, now your capacitance will start charging towards this peak. Okay, so this one is the what we are getting voltage across the capacitor. Now to slowly start charging towards the peak of this. Okay, so means during positive peak means half of the positive peak. So when it is rising from 0 to half of the positive, at that instant your diode is on, and that will take care that capacitor will start charging. Okay, now your capacitor will charge up to the positive peak, up to this positive peak, and it will stop. So after that what will happen, as your input is S of t, will not stop at S of t, start decreasing. Means what is happening here, now your capacitor are charged up to the positive peak, now it has got the peak voltage across it, but S of t what you are now applying at the anode side, now it will be start decreasing, means the value of the voltage beyond during the second half of the positive peak will start decreasing at the anode side compared to the cathode side, because at the cathode side still we got the same peak voltage that is stored in the capacitor, but at the anode side, at the second half of the positive peak, we can see here the second half of the positive peak, from peak it will start decreasing towards 0, means voltage at the anode side start decreasing, but voltage at the cathode side still it will be kept at positive peak, means cathode is at higher potential than the anode when during your S of t start decreasing from peak to 0 to peak ಇದ್ದಾಗದು capacitor D on ಆಗೈತಿ, capacitor charge to the peak, from peak to 0 ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, anode side peak to 0 decrease ಆಯಿತು, ಬಟ್ cathode side up to peak ತನಕ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೈತಿ. Because of this high voltage at cathode and low voltage at anode will reverse bias diode is opened, and that is sufficient for your capacitor to start discharge through the load, to start discharging through the load. Here you can see. Okay, and discharging of capacitance will start from the positive peak itself. 0 to positive peak tana charge ಆಗಿರ್ತೈತೆ, from positive peak to 0 start decreasing, and when S of t still will go enter into the negative peak, means beyond 0 in the negative direction. So there, as good as the voltage applied at the anode side is still it is negative, very low, again your diode is opened, and again your capacitor is discharging through R. means your capacitor will go on discharging until when, until again will start getting zero and go beyond non-zero, that is a positive value in the positive direction. In that case again your diode in the next positive peak it will become forward biased and start charging the capacitance. Means what it is telling, during one positive peak, half of the positive peak you can take, 0 to peak, will take care that capacitor is charged so fast, but the discharging time you can see it is very low, because very slowly it is happening, because it is going to cover your one negative peak full and one half of the positive peak. So that's why discharging of your capacitance is very slow. So like that, this operation just now what I explained, it is go on repeating successively for each positive and negative peak. So like that to start go on getting such kind of quantized steps there. So these quantized steps are controlled by the RC time constant. Okay, so how it will be controlled? So if you keep the RC time constant very less compared to the reciprocal of carrier frequency, your charging time you can make it very short. So idea of making charging time very short and discharging time very large is to almost approximate this charging and discharging with the envelope only. Okay, try to understand here. So main intention of making this charging time very short compared to discharging time is to make this almost straight line or like envelope, so that we will get the envelope at the output of the across the resistance, that is a load. So this can be met by keeping time constant very much less than reciprocal of the carrier frequency, and discharging time can be made very large by keeping the time constant that between the reciprocal of respect to capacitance and carrier and message frequencies. Okay, so like this with the proper adjustment of these two R and C values, we are able to tune to get this envelope. Okay, we are able to tune by tuning R and C values, we are able to control over the optimal charging and discharging of your capacitance, so that we can optimally try to extract the envelope here out of this amplitude modulated signal here. So in this way, so we have seen that in the whole operation of envelope detector, the main duty of diode is simply an ideal switching element, so that will be on during positive peak, first half of the positive peak, second half of the positive peak to the next successive first half of the positive peak, it will be off only. In that case your capacitor will be discharging. And second main part is RC filter, so where it will contain R and C elements. By controlling R and C values, we can easily control the charging and discharging time, and that is going to decide how well defined envelope you are going to get, that is a message signal at the output across the R. That is nothing but envelope is going to give the message signal, or in other words we can tell this is how the envelope detector at the receiver side is going to help us to identify or extract optimally the envelope from the amplitude modulated signal by optimal selection of R and C values. So in this way guys, you have to explain about envelope detector. Okay, so AM modulated signal how we have generated by using switching modulator, and how we will detect at the receiver side by using envelope detector. So this all about AM method, AM generation and AM detection. So next there is one problem with this AM generation or detection. AM generation only if you take, so if you see there, so efficiency what we are getting is very less. The total power if you compare with the carrier power, it is 33%, 0.3 times of that carrier power. Means much of the power is now carried by the power carrier here. Okay, much of the power is with the carrier. Okay, so our message is there in the sidebands, so somehow we need to means there is a more wastage of power is there. As long as we'll have the carrier, somehow we have to suppress this carrier, so that the message contained in the two sidebands can be easily extracted by enhancing the efficiency of this AM. So this is one way that what they are suggesting to improve the efficiency of the AM by suppressing the carrier. So that's what is known as the suppressed carrier double sideband AM modulation. Okay, so let us see. So for that we'll assume that message signal M of t equal to again AM amplitude cos 2 pi FMT modulating frequency, and carrier signal C of t equal to having the amplitude AC with the cos 2 pi FCT carrier frequency. So time domain expression for the DSB-AC signal can be obtained by multiplying these two. Okay, M of t into C of t, we need to multiply these two. Means so AM during AM generation what we did, there you have came across the switching modulator. Okay, there you have seen. So if you remember there, just here you can see switching modulator was there. There also diode is there, ideal diode was there, and band pass filter we have used it to tune for the carrier frequency there, now to get the modulated signal at the output here. Okay, so in the similar manner here we are going to multiply both the signals, modulating signal and carrier signal. Means it is we are trying to get the product of these two. That's what is also known as a product modulator. There it is called switching modulator AM generation, but this DSB-AC AM generation it is called product modulator. Okay, so let us see. M of t means, so you need to substitute for M of t. So M of t as it is will be keeping. C of t is nothing but AC cos 2 pi FCT. Okay, so now what will happen? So AC cos 2 pi FCT, and for M of t you now substitute. You both can keep in the first step only. That is very simple. AM cos 2 pi FMT. Okay. This equation is nothing but called general expression for the DSB-AC. So if we substitute for M of t, we will get this. Okay. So this equation is, this equation is general expression for the DSB-AC AM signal. Now we have to apply, because two cosine factors are there which are going to multiply here. We have to apply some trigonometric formula here. So that is cos A cos B equal to half into bracket cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. So if we apply these two, so AC into AM half, that will be coming outside, cos 2 phi, so A plus B, that is FC plus FM, A minus B, that is FC minus FM. Okay, so this is the final version of your DSB-AC AM signal. So this is the final version of your DSB-AC AM signal. Now we can see no carrier is there, only two sidebands are left with their amplitude got reduced by 2. We have got left with only two sidebands. So that is only clear. Now if you want to see its spectrum, we'll apply the FT on both sides. So already I told each cosine factor has got its own FT pair in terms of impulses. That is once again another half you are getting divided by 4 you are getting with the respective sidebands. Dou of F minus this and dou of F plus this, respective lower and upper sidebands we are getting, impulses we are getting at the FC minus FM and FC plus FM they are located. So this one make correction, this is FC plus FM. Okay, so if you look at the figure here, so this is your band pass signal, okay, with the bandwidth of 2 FM, okay, having the amplitude limited to AM by 2. Now if you this is M of f, message signal, this is S of f, spectrum of your DSB-AC AM signal. Here you can see there is no any carrier, and bandwidth now we got 2 FM with amplitude reduced by another quarter, that is 1 by 4. So carrier is totally suppressed in the spectrum as there is no impulse at plus or minus Fc. Okay, but either side we got LSB and USB with amplitude AM AC by 4 located. Okay, having the width of 2 FM. So this how we are able to discuss its mathematical analysis both time and frequency domain. Okay, so diagram is very simple. You need to simply practice about this one. So now let us see how to so if this is the time domain signal here, and their respective frequency spectrums have been drawn here. Message signal is simply sinusoidal low frequency and low amplitude sinusoidal signal, and this one is DSB-AC AM signal. So one thing what you are observing, as because of the carrier absence, so each time whenever the message signal will cross the zero, the carrier is going to reverse its phase. The carrier is going to reverse its phase. So this one thing, guys, you have to take care. Even in practical also you are getting the same thing here. So each time whenever the message signal is going to cross the zero crossing is happening, at that instant there is a change in phase of the S of t. That is a carrier signal in the S of t. This one thing you have to quote while you are going to explain about this quantitative analysis of DSB-AC AM, time and frequency description. Now let us see how this production DSB-AC signal can be generated. That is, this is now called ring modulator. That AM signal without any suppression of carrier, it is called switching modulator. Now with the suppression of carrier, if you want to generate AM signal with the two sidebands, it is called ring modulator. You are multiplying, that is called product modulator, M of t with C of t. You are getting the product of these two. Okay, so this has been asked, guys, you can see very important. Many times I just taken 2 years CVT question papers here. So 3 times it has been asked, most of the time on an average for 8 marks. Okay, so if you get this question, that is explain the generation of DSB-AC signal using ring modulator and also sketch necessary waveforms. Then you first start with this. Ring modulator is a, you draw this one, okay, ring modulator, draw this and generally explain, then you come to this. Okay, so ring modulator is a product modulator used to generate DSB-AC AM modulated signal. AM modulated signal. It is also known as a ring modulator, commonly known as product modulator to generate the DSB-AC. Okay, first you draw this block diagram, tell about this, then you define the ring modulator. Okay, now let us see how the things are going to work out here. The operation is very simple, but circuit diagram is typical. Now it will contain 2 transformers here, so that's why it looks very complex, but its operation is very simple compared to the previous all circuits. Okay, so now we can see we got the 2 hybrid transformers here, T1 and T2. So main parts of this circuit, okay, ring modulator are 2 transformers T1 and T2. Okay, at the input primary side of T1 you are applying message signal M of t. At the secondary side of the transformer T1 you are applying the carrier signal. Understanding? First to tell there are 2 parts are there, 2 main parts of this circuit, DSB-AC AM generation circuit. First part is 2 transformers T1 and T2. So T1 ki ಏನನ್ನು signal connect ಆಗಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರೆದು ಬಿಡಬೇಕು. At the primary of the T1 you are applying message signal M of t, and at the secondary of the transformer T1 you are applying the between the secondary of the transformer T1 and primary of T2 you are connecting the carrier signal. Carrier signal is nothing but the square wave they are using here in order to do the switching operation. Now another important part of this circuit is four diodes are connected in the bridge form. They are acting like a bridge circuit. Okay, so the idea of using the carrier as a square wave is during positive peak D1 and D2 will conduct, during negative D3 and D4 another pair will conduct. That is the idea. Now coming to T2, at the primary of T2 we are applying carrier, and at the secondary we are getting the output voltage V0 of T, and another third main part what we are getting is band pass filter. A band pass filter is there having the capacitance with the frequency tuned to FC, and it is going to provide you the bandwidth of 2FM, and after that across its output we are getting suppressed carrier, double sideband, AM signal. Okay, so three parts are there. Two transformers, NN signal agedannadu ಬರೀಬೇಕು. For about 4 diodes we can tell, and about BPF also we can have to tell. Now let's start the operation here. Switching of the diode is means switching of these four diodes which are now connected in the bridge fashion is actually controlled by the carrier signal. Carrier signal you can see it is in the form of square waveform. Later we can see the waveforms later. Okay, now we'll try to understand the things here. So keep in mind that now during positive peak you can see here. So this diagram what you are observing during positive peak of this carrier view. Okay, during positive peak of carrier view, it is center tapped is there. So here on either side will get positive negative and positive negative. As this top corner is positive, so this corner is positive. Positive is connected to anode of D1, will forward bias in the diode D1. Diode D1 is on. Okay, so here it is also positive, so this is coming here. Okay, this is all the way coming. So this one is all positive is here, it is coming here and is going to forward bias the diode D2. Means D1 and D2 are on, they are short circuited. Okay, so plus is here connected to anode, D1 is on. Plus is here, it is connected to D2, it is connected to D2, D2 is now on. Okay, now negative is there, negative is here. Okay, negative is here. So negative is going and coming, so as D2 is conducting, so positive negative, negative is here there. Okay, so negative side, so that you can see. So because of this positive is connected here to this terminal, this positive is going here to the cathode of D3, D3 is off. So second half below there, so positive negative is there. So this negative I am typing. Okay, sorry, this positive, sorry. Okay, so positive is coming here, this positive what I am taking, it is coming here, coming and here. So this positive is connected to cathode, that will turn off the T3. Similarly D4, at the anode of D4 or cathode you can see at the cathode here positive is there, positive is connected to cathode means D4 is off. Remember guys, these are key points of what evaluator is searching. You should clearly mention how D1 and D2 are on and why D3 or D4 are off. Okay, D1 and D2 are on because this power corner is positive and this point is positive. So this positive is connected to anode of D1, that's why D1 is on. So this positive is connected to anode of D2, that's why D2 is on. Similarly the same thing at this positive is also connected to cathode of D3, that will turn off the D3, and this positive is connected to cathode of D4, hence D4 is off. So D3 D4 off and D1 D2 on, your circuit will look like this. Okay, now that is sufficient. So what output you are getting, your M of T is now multiplied with carrier wave is we assume it as square wave 0 to 1 and minus 1 1 minus 1 like that. Now it got multiplied by plus 1, means what the output you are getting plus M of T during positive peak of the carrier. Okay, now let us see what will happen during the negative peak. During negative peak, it will be remaining as it is because it is center tap t1 plus minus like that. Okay, so when c of t is negative, okay, so this we talked about when c of t is positive. Okay, c of t is positive here, so the same thing we have indicated here. When c of t is negative here, okay, so when c of t is going to be negative, so here what is happening, that is when during negative peak of your carrier. Okay, so now this it is connected between the secondary of t1 and the primary of t2 like this between these two. So during negative peak, so negative what you can say, so how we can understand this one. So negative so here you can see the polarity is going to change. Which of the polarities are going to change here? You can see here at the primary of T2 the things are going to change here at the primary of T2 because of the negative peak of carrier. Okay, so here it is become negative, so this side it will become negative. During positive peak explain ಮಾಡೋ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ D1 D2 ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, D3 D4 ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಪೀಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಈ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ಗೆ, ಇದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ಇದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಸಾರಿ okay, what is happening here is that this one one minute. So during negative peak we have to we are getting D3 is on, D3 is positive here. Okay, we have to get D3 positive compared to this side. This side means it is coming here, or D4 anode side we have to get large voltage coming to compared to this cathode. So cathode should be negative. Okay, it should be at the lower voltage. So what is happening here is that, so during positive peak we got output voltage m plus m of t. Okay, during negative peak of the carrier the circuit will looks like this. The circuit will looks like that because during negative peak of the carrier D1 will be off. Okay, so how the D1 is going to off? So during positive peak here we got positive and here we got negative. During negative peak of the carrier the things will got reversed for this. Hope you are understanding. Maybe here some sign conventions might be wrong here. So during negative peak the carrier the sign conventions or voltage across D1 and D2 will be got reversed. That will be going to turn off your D1 and D2 and turn on the D3 and D4. Okay, so what you can write, during negative peak of the carrier the voltages applying across D1 and D2 got reversed, which will turn off D1 and D2 and respectively will turn on the D3 and D4. In that case the circuit will looks like this with center tapped, and now because of the negative peak your m of t is got multiplied with -1 and you are getting minus m of t. Okay, means during positive peak you are getting output plus message signal, during negative peak of carrier you are getting minus message signal. That is V0 of t. That is V0 of t. Okay. Okay, coming to this one. So after seeing this one, how we are getting the plus m of t and minus m of t, if you have any confusion here, so once again we'll deal with this one. You need to tell me about this one in introduction class if you are facing any difficulties, otherwise we'll proceed next. So mathematically ring modulator output at the secondary of transmitter T2 is given by, that is V0 of t equal to m of t multiplied by c of t. So during positive peak of c of t it will become +1, negative peak of c of t it will become -1. That's all. Now this carrier wave c of t is given by Fourier series. This equation you have to remember here. Okay, given by 4 by 5 summation n from 1 to infinity. Okay, so from 1 to infinity cosine causal signal we are getting here. You remember this one. And if we expand this one further, harmonics we are not interested, we are just interested with the first harmonic here. Now when you multiply this c of t, such kind of c of t with m of t into 4 by 5, this much. Now we'll pass it such kind of signal through the band pass filter which is tuned to fc. Okay, then this first harmonic only we are interested. Later harmonics we are not interested because of their negligible amplitudes. Okay, so finally the DSP-AC AM signal expression what we are getting, 4 by 5 m of t cos 2 pi fct. This is what it is generated by the ring modulator. Okay, so this much you have to explain whenever you are going to write the things. These are the waveforms here, guys. So just I will briefly tell you how we are going to get these waveforms. Message signal m of t you draw like this. Okay, and you make some partitions here so that we can easily understand. Carrier signal will take one cycle during this one peak, and like that some 2 cycles in this negative peak, another 2 cycles in the positive peak. It will be repeated with plus and minus 1. Okay, now during the positive peak of this carrier, what we are getting, plus m of t. Okay, v naught of t how will draw here, that is nothing but at the secondary of t2 we are getting here. So you can draw like these two with the two super overlapped sinusoidals dotted line, and only during positive peak of carrier we are getting this one, c of t multiplied with plus m of t, sorry, m of t multiplied with plus 1 here. So m of t shape is coming as it is, this m of t, this whole shape is coming as it is, multiplied with 1 means this whole portion is coming as it is, m of t. During negative peak, minus m of t is coming, so means this portion during m of t, then negative peak of this one, your m of t, this portion is multiplied with minus, means mirror image you are getting here like this. Okay, like that. Again during positive peak, here it is plus 1, but here your message signal is in the negative direction, it is increasing. So this portion you are multiplying with 1 means the same thing you are getting here like this. Okay, so this is the main reason, guys, why the carrier is the s of t is going to reverse its phase. You can see here, so it is changing, reversing of phase change here. Hope you are now understanding this one. Okay, so this reversal of phase change is the main reason for this one is, now we are clearly understanding. Here you can see, so once if you pass it through the band pass filter tuned to C, now you are getting that clearly. You can see here clearly this one. There is reversal of phase change here. Okay, the same thing here. The main reason for this one is that your alternate change of polarity of C of t, plus minus, and also alternate change in polarity of the message signal, plus minus. So because of this reason we are getting a phase reversal here. Okay, so hope now you understood also how to draw the waveform. If you have any queries, further things will be discussed in the interaction class, and same thing will be included if it is required or repeated in the next video. Thank you.